some guests. Normally they are top people from the banking industry and even politicians, so they come and we have a dialogue sort of going. And one day we invited Najib, and he came, and one of the questions I asked him was, do you realize the growing Islamization? He said, give me an example. I said, my sister is teaching in a school, and in Sungai Buloh, it is a vocational school. But the point, you see, because we have so many ustaz there, so what has been instituted by this school, and of course the headmaster will not object because they're scared of these people who are called ustaz. They may go to hell, see. Anyway, so what happened was they started putting too many prayers. Okay, when the teacher enters a class, before he starts a lesson, there is a prayer. And then when he is leaving, there is a prayer. And then when the new teacher walks into the class, take over the class, there is a prayer. So too many prayers. I think this is putting off other people, sort of put off so many other people. And that's why the national school, people are moving away from the national schools. And this is the thing that Lim Ken Ek mentioned about too much religion in national school. He didn't say that you can't teach Ugama in the classes, but this is too much of religion. And I told the Deputy Prime Minister, I think you must try to roll this back, You must stop this ustaz and ustazah taking their own initiative to impose these things on other communities in the school. And he admitted that it is something difficult to do because he can be accused of being a supporter of the kafir. So, and it continues. That's why sometimes you see report of this thing happening in this school, this thing happening in this school. And this is the very thing that make my friend, my neighbor decide to migrate. So I'm happy. I hope changes are made which will roll this, back. Okay, now coming back to my topic, which is about the media. I think we behave disgracefully. But I think we have been behaving disgracefully every election. Including the Sun. You see, but the Sun, we only behave a little bit disgracefully during election, but otherwise we go back to our ways, and we go back to our ways. We have Mr. Nadiswaran, he is back and writing his stuff and criticizing this and criticizing that about the local government. In fact, just before the election, the Menteri Besar called all of us for lunch, and Nadis came. He refused to eat, you see. And the Menteri Besar asked us whether we could sort of hold back slightly for the election for the state of Selangor. So we did, but Nadis had done everything already, and we're happy that the government changed in Selangor. But during the election, I think we as always in the past too, we changed a bit during the election. We have to, because this year we didn't get our license. Even by the 31st of December, we didn't get our license yet. Can you imagine when we put the paper on the 1st of January, we were shivering. Make sure that there is no mistake. Make sure that the 4-letter word is not spelled as the 4-letter word, So that kind of thing can happen, and we got our license 10 days later. So we decided that if they say during election you lay off certain things a bit, we said okay, fine. But after the election we are back to our own normal self. Anyway, you see, there are so many laws, and of course this is a subject for another seminar, but we have so many laws that we have no choice but to behave the way we do. And also, some of us are owned by political parties. What can they do? They cannot. But what I like to say here is that we shouldn't have done more than we should. So some people are doing more than they should. You see, it is this spinning in the newspapers that is, I think, confusing the readers. It's not the opposition that's reading confusing the rakyat, so to speak. In fact, the Chief Minister of Malacca, in one of his statements after the results were announced, this is all because of the opposition leaders. They have misled the people. How naive can he be? You see? And there are few other people who make that kind of statements, you see. But, so, there's no choice. But what happened was, I think this time around, we have the internet. I think the internet played a role. The internet, we must compliment the internet, the internet, what you call newspapers. At the same time, we must also thank the bloggers for doing a splendid job, you know, of informing. You see, every year, maybe this year we will have, every year the Internal Security Ministry organizes a seminar, called all the newspaper editors, and they have a seminar. What else can you say when you are in the Internal Security Ministry? But the last time I was there, and it was the last time I was invited, I spoke of the need for the rakyat to be informed, for the people to be informed. You must inform, because if the people are not informed, how can they make the choice? You see, they have to make so many choices, you know, whether to pay income tax or not to pay income tax, or whether to do this or to do that, or to choose this government or this government. They must be informed. If you don't inform, you give only one-sided information, how can they make a choice? They cannot make a choice. It's Hobson's choice. You see? So, and we must inform the people as accurately as possible. Okay, so, but the point is that these people, they do not understand. Sometimes they tell us the wrong thing. When there was this demonstration by the Bersih, for instance, massive demonstration, the instruction we received from the Internal Security Ministry play down. So most of us just have one picture and maybe 10 paragraphs of text to describe what took place. And then one day, during another meeting with them, they said, my God, why only one picture and 10 paragraphs? But that was the instruction we got. Oh, that was the wrong instruction. And then he pretended to scold one of his officials. And when the Hindraf demonstration took place, I think we went a little bit more. Maybe we used 3 pictures. And they scolded us also because we used 3 pictures. We didn't follow the instruction, you know. So sometimes they are also a bit disorganized. Anyway, as I said about the internet and the bloggers, but I think the most important instrument that was used, I think, was the handphone, the SMS, short messaging service. I asked my daughter worked for one of the service providers. I said, how many registered handphones are there in this country? And she said 22 million. 22 million handphones. And these are registered 20 million and 88% prepaid. The rest are of course postpaid. And this becomes an important medium for the opposition. You get message, oh, Lim Kit Siang is going to be in Subang Jaya tonight. You know, the kind of thing. And people flock to this kind of what do you call this, the campaign. There was one evening, it rained heavily in Subang Jaya. I live in Subang Jaya. And they have their stage set up in section USJ. One day it rained so heavy, you know,